turning back.
Welcome to the Last Boy Scouts podcast. This is a rare edition we got going on.
Yeah. What a crazy thing. Sorry, man. I closed my eyes for like 5 seconds. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you great.
I closed my eyes for like 5 minutes. Preston talked me into it.
A nap together?
What's that?
Nap together?
We should have.
Oh.
Yeah, we should have. Dude. I'm gonna show you what I'm at right now, Tyler.
All right.
Hang on for a second. Good. Let me see if I can figure this out because it's kind of hard for me to see if I can swap it.
Oh yeah, there you are.
There we go. There we are. We're at Cocoa Beach. Tyler wasn't able to come. Big Frog retreat starts today. Here in just about 20 minutes. Check-in is about 10 minutes away from that. But
Nice.
yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm gonna kind of walk around.
Yeah, no.
Is that gonna? Can you hear the wind, or do you?
No, I can't hear the wind at all. Your headphones are doing great. Like this is a completely new and unique experience for us. So stoked to try to try something new.
I love your background. Dude.
I know this is me wishing I was there with you.
Yeah. I'm gonna kind of walk in and find a quiet spot.
All right.
What's new, dude?
Dude, not a whole lot. Just working. Everybody in my house has had the flu, so I finally kicked them all out to their respective spots, and yeah,
that's what you said. Yeah, being sick is the worst, right?
It is absolutely the worst.
It does. You never can find balance when you're sick. It's almost always like you're like playing catch up all the time and never really like. It's the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing that your body goes through. That's what I always think about. It's the weirdest thing that your body goes through.
Yeah,
to be sick. You know. So,
yeah.
But dude, this is probably the best weather that I've ever experienced in Florida during February.
Yeah. So this is what how many times have you been?
So right now, I think this is my third Big Frog retreat. And, it's about 80 degrees right now, Tyler. And dude, it is so nice right now.
I'm so jealous.
It's hard to be want to go into the room because it's really hot.
Yeah.
And roll around with a bunch of sweaty guys.
Yeah.
I went in there, Tyler, we had an open mat at noon, and it was the most drenched I've ever been.
Oh, gee, just like humidity times.
Oh, dude. And Corey Bryan, poor guy, he hates, ghee.
Oh, yeah.
But he was like, I'm going to come and roll with you guys. And I could tell that he was just like, this is so gross because it was like sweaty, dude.
Oh yeah,
like super sweaty. Yeah. So, let's see. So what's been going on?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I had a crazy with the whole. I forget sometimes that, what we say on our podcast is like,
yeah.
Everybody can hear, everybody can see it, right?
It's a public forum.
And we've talked about is it a good thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
I know you've had some things where people have taken what you said the wrong way.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
And that's always crazy, huh?
It's interesting. People get stuck in their subjective reality, right? Their version of reality, and they fail to see that there's more at play than just kind of the way they construct things in their own mind.
Sure.
And so, yeah, I've had instances where I've said things on the podcast, they've been misconstrued as threats. They've been, rather than me just kind of like me projecting my own reality, right? Like these are this is a narrative podcast, right? We are sharing our story from our perspective with the hope that other men will attach to it and find some common unity within our shared experience, right? Like your and I shared experience.
Sure. Yeah, dude. Yeah, and like like my experience, I haven't had anything crazy like that, but my experience was just like what I said was taken out of context for just a moment, and I felt so bad because like I would never want somebody to get their feelings hurt
Yeah.
by something that I said taken out of context.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
and when those when everything like settled and everybody realized that I was what I was saying, like the context was taken um, incorrectly, and then everything turned out okay, which is what you hope for, right?
Yeah.
Like you just hope that people don't, like you said, like, man, could you imagine? Like Tyler's not threatening anybody,
No.
but you've said like, hey, man, like if if I have to stand up for myself, I will stand up for myself.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, now more than ever. I've spent a lot of years where I haven't.
I know. Do you think that like um, this version of Tyler um, is so different that you wouldn't get along with past versions of Tyler?
Probably.
I think
Yeah.
about that a lot.
This is the best version of Tyler, right? But I don't think
I agree.
this version of me wouldn't exist without those past versions. So I have to give them a little bit of grace and say, yeah, there are some definite aspects of things that I kind of cringe at, right? Like I kind of cringe at things I said or things that I did. But really, those were just opportunities for me to gain wisdom about who I am, right? They all all of those experiences I have given me perspective into who I am. What is the reality of me? And as long as I build on them, right? I learn from them, right? Like that's good. Where it becomes a problem is when I personalize them and I turn them into something that could be construed as depressive. And I start feeling like, did you hear that? I've been waiting to use these buttons for such a long time.
What are they?
So like we don't very rarely get into this scenario where we have like the ability to like have like I can beep stuff, right? Like we have this a powerful studio, right? We're not beeping stuff out. So like right now I could be saying, and I'm not really cussing at you, but I'm just having fun with it since we've never got to use these buttons.
That's so cool. Hey, check this out, dude.
I remember that walk.
I wanted our viewers to check this out. This is probably one of the coolest things, like for me, when you walk here at Cocoa Beach. Not to cut you off, but I wanted you to see. I wanted you to kind of be there with me.
This is why I thought this was a unique opportunity. Like we've talked about recording last year, we talked about doing a remote recording of our time down there. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. But that looks so amazing. Oh no.
What happened?
We just lost your video.
Well, how do I go back?
I don't know if you're not sharing video or if you don't have enough bandwidth.
Uh-oh. What happened? Can you hear me?
Oh, there we go. It's back. It's back. All right, it's back. Yeah.
I must have accidentally hit a button as I was trying to jump over it. You know me, dude. I am so not a technology person.
This is absolutely a learning experience for us both, right? In the realm of a growing experience for the podcast, right? So this may not be our most polished episode, but I think at the same time, like this is a very cool experience to give our listeners a view. For those who like choose to get on the YouTube and watch it, they're going to see a very cool experience. Man, I loved the beach experience there last time, and it does look way nicer than when I was down there.
Yeah, remember, like it was kind of like a little cold.
Yeah, overcast. We were here. I mean, it didn't matter because it was 30 degrees in Heber. Today we actually have we have a gorgeous bluebird day today, but it ain't no Cocoa Beach.
It's not. No, it's not. How crazy has it been in Heber, in Utah lately? It was 70 degrees, Tyler, before I left in
Yeah.
Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
70 degrees. Like, what the heck? Why is it that warm?
It's definitely strange. It's I think it's definitely impacted the snow season, the ski season.
Yeah.
Those people that care about that, like I don't know if I could smell it, or I just kind of had a gut feeling. I didn't renew my pass this year, and it's been a crazy.
Oh, you didn't?
No, it's been a crazy season on the mountain with a strike and some other things that have gone on. So it just really hasn't. It really hasn't. It hasn't been the season that
Come to
people would
fruition.
expect. Yeah. We've had to close.
Jeff Curran's boy.
Sorry, go ahead.
Jeff Curran's boy caught a shark last night.
What? A shark?
Yeah, like at midnight. Yeah, like midnight. Yeah, caught a shark
Dang.
off the beach.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I haven't seen a picture yet. I just kind of been hearing rumors about this.
That's crazy.
That thing.
So what is your experience going to be the next couple of days? So you check in. How many people are there?
I heard fully sold out, 220 something people. He's fully sold out. Last year was around 300 and something. So he had about 100 extra people last year, and it just felt like you could not move.
Yeah, it was too much
in the room. I heard he kind of like brought everything down and like made it so that not as many people were coming to this year, just like lowered the numbers. But when you go there, so you're gonna so at a camp experience, you check in at and then you go in and you start to take instructionals. We already had one open mat session, no gi, like we were just talking about at 12 o'clock. And you can roll for as long as you want. We were there for about 2 hours, just training, just rolling with people, and everybody's starting to come in, which is really nice because it kind of shakes everything, takes the cobwebs off of the travel,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. Because you flew in yesterday.
So we traveled. We did.
And you fly in and you got to drive from Orlando to, just so our listeners have an expectation. You drive from Orlando to Cocoa Beach. And who all is with you? Like who's from our academy is there?
So we flew. It was kind of crazy because like the group of us, besides Professor and Mona, they flew out a little bit earlier than us. But on our flight, it was myself, Trip, Preston, Mike Grand Prix, Brian Lopez, the little small white belt.
Yeah.
Anthony and his kids. And we were all on the same flight, which was really kind of crazy, kind of cool. We all just traveled with each other, and the five of us, me, Trip, Mike, Grand Prix, Brian, and Preston are all kind of like staying together and hanging out, rooming together.
Nice.
Anthony will come tomorrow. And then you just like see people that you've met at the like last camps. Like we have our camp in Park City, right? And then Jeff has his camps, and you just run into people that you've seen in the last couple of years. You develop these relationships with people, and it's kind of funny to like. It's such a weird thing because it's your own little community.
Yeah.
Of people that you don't see every day on a regular basis besides your teammates. But they're technically, and for all intents and purposes, your teammates.
Yeah.
They're the same association, right? So that you consider them your teammates, and life goes on, and things. You're 365 days later since the last time you've seen them. And a lot, like we talked about, a lot can change. A lot has changed. So
yeah,
it's such a fun experience for anybody that hasn't gone to a jiu-jitsu camp. It's such a fun experience.
So you have a session. You had a session at noon. You'll have your first instructional is late after check-in tonight, or this
5:30. Yeah, there's about a 2-hour window of check-ins.
Okay.
So 5:30, we're 2 hours ahead.
Right.
Over here, and then you'll do two instructional tonight, and then another open mat. And if you want to stick around, which, like, you know, us, we kind of stick around for every open mat, train every single day
Yeah.
for 4.5 days of
Yeah.
just straight jujitsu. And for, you know, I wish all of you guys could come. I mean, I'm so lucky because my wife is like, yeah, go and enjoy this thing. Um, but everybody stays at the same hotel.
Yeah.
The instruction, the camp is at a hotel that has a big conference room, and most everybody there is staying in the hotel, right?
That's so cool.
And so
And there's a nice
it's
pool
such a
in the
good time.
center, a decent
There's a nice
restaurant
pool.
right
Yeah,
on site.
yeah, Tyler. You know what's crazy? I had to drive around to find Pacifico.
What?
I know, like across the street, there's a grocery store. There's a couple gas stations. There's a couple of there's a Walgreens. I had to drive around to find Pacifico.
That's crazy.
Like drive around. And I was like, where the hell did Tyler and I find that year? Because you remember you and I bought a bunch because we're Pacifico drinkers.
Yeah. Whatever grocery
Um,
store we went to had like a massive selection.
we went there. That's where we ended up going. I was like, oh, maybe me and Tyler stopped here. And we stopped there today and I was able to find it today. So thank goodness. Because I was drinking a bunch of shit that I was like, I shouldn't drink, you know?
Yeah.
So what's new on your week? What's on your docket? You got
Man,
anything?
nothing
Work?
nothing exciting for me. Yeah. I'm just working working a ton. I'm helping out Trip so he can be down there. I'm at the rink.
Yeah.
Nobody told me the last session at the rink tonight ends at 12:30. I'm not excited about that. These hockey players, they love to sit around and drink after. So,
Bro, I know, like when he works, I'm so great. He's so lucky to have a friend like you that helps him out to get out here.
yeah,
Because you know he's 20 years old, man.
yeah.
Like he's got. You don't realize what you need, and he needs friends that will help him.
Yeah.
And I hope he repays you back, and hope
I told him
he's a good buddy to you.
Of course, I told him he's got one task while he's out there, and that's to pick up my swag. I paid for it. I want it. I don't even care.
Yeah.
I don't even care about the camp. I just want the rash guard and the jersey, and
Yeah.
I want the swag. So
Yeah. So yeah. So you don't have any trips coming up. You got. I guess it's too early in the season
yeah,
to schedule anything, huh?
yeah. No, I think I'm taking my kids to Durango for the first time for spring break. We're planning that trip right now.
Okay.
They want to go down and see kind of where I spent a lot of my time growing up. So I'm trying to get that sorted. I'm planning
So
another.
you stay on the rooftop tent?
Yeah, so I'm thinking about doing the same thing I did when I went down there for my grandfather's funeral, right? Stop in Moab, have an overnight in Moab. It just breaks up the drive. You know what I mean? Because it's 4 hours or thereabouts to Moab. You know, you get out, you can stretch your legs and have a campfire, and you know, you can get up, kind of slow roll, and then there's another 4 hours to Durango. Hopefully, planning to hit Mesa Verde while we're down there.
Okay.
But then, yeah, I'm hoping to stay in the same hotel that I was down there, like just recreating that trip. They've never really seen the town of Durango, and it's such a cool little town. See the property that my grandparents have that we're trying to figure out what to do with. And yeah, I think that's kind of my main focus right now. I'm in the thick of it with school. I've doubled my credit hours this semester. I'm really trying to not necessarily hustle through it, but like, you know, make quick progress so I can get into the clinical stuff and, you know, really start making a difference. So that's really what I've got going on. I'm wishing I was on the beach, as you can tell by my background. I'm just wishing I was there.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I think that's, I mean, right now is just, it's that nesting before you kind of get into that spring cleaning. I did a bunch of spring cleaning already, but I'm starting to like just get rid of stuff. I'm gutting stuff. I'm selling stuff. Like I'm kind of nesting in preparation for whatever's next this spring and summer for me.
Yeah. Do you see yourself sticking around in that apartment for a little bit longer? We had talked about that maybe you were going to try to get out of that apartment.
Yeah. I mean, I really want to start building. And unfortunately, I don't feel like I can unless I figure out how to really, my biggest expense is rent. right? That's by far my biggest. It's Heber has just gotten so unrealistically expensive. And so I'm kind of torn between the decision of like, what do I do that's best for my kids to provide them, some stability. They already are rocked with the having to go back and forth. So what can I do to make sure that they feel stable? They feel like they have a place, and get some buy-in from them. If I decide to do something, it would be, hey, how can we consolidate and pay the least amount of rent for 6 months, a year, so we can build up a little savings to start really building the reality we want to build.
Sure.
Yeah. I have this dream of this amazing A-frame with a view that I just don't, I want to execute on, but the longer I stay paying just an exorbitant amount of rent, the longer. And I'm hoping, perhaps this summer as they continue to build, right? Utah's in a pretty big housing crisis, right? There's not enough housing for the number of people that are here. And so that's why rent is so expensive, right?
Right. And like the fact of the matter is there's just not a lot available.
Yeah.
Unless you're willing to like uproot or really put yourself into a financial hole sometimes.
Yeah.
Like right now, there's no way that I would be able to afford living in Heber the way that I live now if I was moving there today, I've lived there for 10 years, so luckily I have what I have, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like we've talked about, things change so rapidly, and luckily we stick, men are able to make quick adjustments when needed. But when you have a family, that's kind of hard to do, right? Like that's really hard to. You couldn't just go leave Heber right now.
No,
because your kids live in Heber technically half the time. They're supposed to live in Heber half the time.
Yeah.
So you have to do whatever it takes to stay there, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's where sometimes people get they get lost in the process.
Yeah.
And they get lost. Just going through the day-to-day grind of struggles, right?
Yeah.
And especially with the way the world is right now, right? Like, I mean, what a crazy couple of weeks we've had in the world.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, are you feeling, so there's been a couple of incidences, like, in the past couple of weeks. There's a crash in Baltimore and obviously the big one in DC. Like, are you guys feeling it in addition to kind of the scrutiny of Doge, or is it, kind of business as normal for you guys?
It's business as normal, bro.
Yeah.
We got an email that we are not allowed to talk too much about, like what our thoughts of the whole thing or whatever. But I could tell you, like, people know that I'm an air traffic controller, but what do you know what that means? Like, do you really know what that means?
Right.
No, because like I don't talk about my work.
Right.
Like I don't know what you do as far as living.
Yeah.
You don't really. I mean, I'm an air traffic controller, but we don't like. I don't personally talk about my work a lot, right?
Yeah.
But when something like that happens, and my workforce is thrust to the public forefront, everybody wants to ask me questions.
Oh, I'm
Everybody wants to talk.
I'm sure.
I don't know how many times I've had a conversation of like certain situations that I'm like, bro, if I told you what I did, like you wouldn't understand it, for one.
Yeah.
Two, if I just told you randomly, you would be terrified to fly.
Right.
And three, like I don't know a career field, Tyler, where if something like that happens and I'm the one person talking to that airplane and 69 people unfortunately pass away, am I technically responsible for that? Am I technically responsible for that?
Yeah.
Am I the culprit? It's super heavy. And I think about that a lot. Like,
I bet
those people, those controllers that are going through it right now, I feel for them right now, because, man, let's say one person blames them, right? And oh my gosh, I could. What else? What other career field besides some other first responders? Where you're technically in charge of. You technically got people's lives in your hands.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, that's what I do know about the whole role of ATC, right? It's notorious for being one of the most highly stressful jobs in the world. There's probably very few jobs that have a stress level like what you have to go through. So yeah, definitely, something you have to face every day.
I'll tell you this, man. Like, I'm so blessed with my career field, but I'm more um, blessed with the people that I work around.
Yeah.
The people that I actually work around, like, they are such good people.
Yeah.
We have our differences. Like, we don't always see eye to eye, but when shit hits the fan, we all rally around each other.
Yeah.
For the most part, I've worked with um, the people in my facility for 10 years plus. Where else do you know that? Like, where you work with 10 years plus of the same people.
Yeah.
I've been at my facility, excuse me, for over 21 years in the same spot. You know,
Yeah.
so I'm proud about that. But I'm also know that, like, if you're not careful, like, yeah, definitely you can get yourself into some pickles.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, man, that one in Philadelphia, that one is insane. That's the one that's going straight down. Like, that thing is going straight down. That
Yeah.
one is insane.
Yeah.
That to me.
There's so many factors at play, right? So many factors at play, right? Yeah.
Yeah, in my opinion, that thing is insane to watch, because that thing is going straight down 100 miles an hour. And so,
Jeez.
um, I've been a part of a lot of accidents. I've been a part of a lot of. I was working during 9/11. Um, I was at work when that whole thing
Wow.
was going down. I remember a lot of things about those days, and I
Yeah.
remember, like, I was in St. George when the plane crash. The helicopter hit the plane just last week.
Oh yeah.
I was in St. George and my phone went off because we were wrestling. We had a wrestling tournament, and my phone was going off. Like, oh my gosh, what the heck happened? What's going on? Is everything okay? And I'm like, what the heck are you guys talking about? And then I see the news, and I'm like, oh, this is so bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is so bad. It couldn't have happened at a worse time, right? Like, it couldn't have happened at a worse time. But for me, that's the cross that I bear with my job, with the things that I do.
Yeah.
And I understand that, like, people want to ask me a lot of questions. They want to know a lot of things, and I'm just like, sometimes I'll talk to you if this wasn't a public.
Yeah.
My experience last week of people hearing me and taking
Yeah.
out of
Yeah. Yeah.
context what
Yeah.
I said. I would give you my personal opinion
Yeah.
about this thing.
No, I mean, yeah.
But
You got to protect yourself, and that makes sense.
sure.
And obviously, you're in a position where your job in general is understaffed, right? Like, there's nothing, everybody's admitted that you're understaffed, and it's not because you're not. I think you guys have been pretty particular probably on who you put behind that position, right? Not just anybody can take that job. So, we appreciate what you do. It's often very overlooked, right? And there's a lot of factors at play. So, what I do want to ask you as we wrap up here, I want to know about St. George. I want to know about the wrestling tournament. Did I see you posted some people, some ladies that made state? And
so out of 19 kids, we had, man, gosh, our program's so young, Tyler.
Yeah.
And accepting a new coaching staff with a new coaching system is really hard in itself. And Park City has such an infant program of wrestling, because you don't start wrestling in Park City until you're in ninth grade, and that's almost too late.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, you have 4 years, but for the most part, kids have maybe 2 years. It's just really hard to develop systems. So we had some kids come up just short, which just means they didn't qualify. I think we had 3 boys qualify, one as an alternate, which would make 4. I don't think he's going to go. I think he went there last year and he wasn't stoked on it.
Yeah.
And then we had our 2 girls. They definitely did well. I don't think that they wrestled to their best of their abilities, and I do believe that they have some left on the plate that they need to put some time in. unfortunately for the whole situation, me and Trip had this trip already planned,
Mm-hmm.
which happens right after state. So yeah, St. George was great. Tyler, like I appreciate officials.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do, Tyler. But and I know they're human, but the way that they've done things now, like before, you used to be able to approach them and ask
Yeah.
them questions, and when you could talk about them. Sometimes you lose your cool. There are coaches that question every single freaking call, and that gets old. Like coaches go to the table every make the match a 6-minute match, a 10-minute match because they're asking so many damn questions.
Yeah.
But there's a judgment call. I question the official, and then another situation happens, and now I'm a little heated, right?
Too
And I
bad.
get
So you have
into
two bad
this.
calls.
I dig into this official a little bit. Tripp's telling me, "Dad, stop! Dad, stop!" Anyways, I end up getting kicked out of the tournament, Tyler.
Oh no. Well, we didn't see you on
Ejected.
TikTok or YouTube, so it couldn't have been that bad. You didn't like
No.
that dude that kicks the
Yeah,
official or whatever, kicks the kid, and we didn't see you on
oh,
that, so it couldn't have been that
Tyler.
bad.
Bro, I didn't even know that I was kicked out of the tournament. I literally I questioned him twice, and I'm chatting from the corner, of course. And then I said to my wrestler, "You're going to have to clearly score for him to award you points." That's all I said. And he hit me with my second misconduct and said, "Coach, you're out." So I just got up thinking, okay, cool. I'm going to go and I'll just go give him some time, give myself time to cool, go find somebody else to coach. I go about my business like nothing even happened, Tyler.
Yeah.
Literally, I just go about my business, not thinking that he ejected me or anything, but just thinking that he wanted me out of the corner. So I can go about my business. A couple hours later, I get a text message from my athletic director. Hey, who got ejected from the tournament? And I'm thinking, nobody got ejected from the tournament. So I call him and explain to him the situation. He goes, well, uh, I heard that somebody got ejected. And I'm thinking, no, nobody got ejected. What are you talking about? Then uh, I go talk to the referee. I even go talk to the referee. I go and like sit there and chat with him. We talk a little bit about what's going on and go about my day. The next day, I get an email that said, "Yeah, you were ejected, and you have to go through this crazy 4.5 hour course
That's
to get back on the
ridiculous.
mat,
That is
and that I was
ridiculous.
suspended for suspended for the next event." And we're like, "What does that mean? Is that boy state? Does that mean I can't do?" We're trying to figure out. Now we're in a panic
Yeah.
of me. What the hell does that mean? And why does this joker literally him and I have a conversation? He knows that I'm coaching, and sure shit, he had turned me in for misconduct.
Was it just
I
an
had to take this course.
Do you think it was just an ego
Dude, you would have
thing?
laughed your ass off. I think so, man. I think that, like,
His pride was
honestly,
hurt.
Tyler, I think he's seeing me all crazy eyed, jacked up ears, and just had a moment of like, I'm going to show you who the boss is. I'm going to teach you a lesson that I'm in charge of this event. And that happens.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, sometimes those guys have bad days, right? Sometimes they just they don't uh, they just have a bad moment, right? I'm going to
Yeah.
show you them walking out and show you my view.
Damn.
I forgot the check in. The check in was
Oh
at
yeah.
3:30. Those guys are texting me and um, where I'm at.
No worries. You get walking up. We'll wrap it up here. That is absolutely crazy. I can't wait to hear more about your experience when you get back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take some pictures and we'll throw them up on social.
Bro, I got to tell you this last thing.
Okay. Yeah.
So this morning we go walking down the beach because that was our, I breathe every morning. So
Mm-hmm.
I went down there and breathed this morning, and then the guy showed up and we went walk for down the road. But they wanted to show us this. I'm going to send you a picture, but they found these chairs last year, these big colored chairs that are stuck back in the mango groves that you can sit on and watch the sunset. But we go sit on these chairs. It was one of the coolest views that I've seen. It was so cool. And they just like off the beaten path. I did hear we're going to see a rocket launch Friday.
Oh, sick.
I think. Yeah, Friday. Last year we were able to see that rocket launch at night. This one's during the day. No sonic boom, which means that nobody comes back. The rockets don't come back.
Oh,
to land. Yeah, what a crazy world we live in, dude.
Right.
But yeah, dude, I'm stoked that we were able to do this. I'm glad you were able to set this up. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I wish you were here. I hope our viewers understand like what a great thing to be part of an association like this would be.
Yeah.
If you're thinking about doing jiu-jitsu, if you're thinking about find an academy, find something that you can be a part of and go and do some things like this, and hopefully we get you back out here next year. That's our goal. We get you back out here and hang out with us. I'll show you for the last thing. I'll show you the hotel. I'm going to show you this last little bit so you see it. Just so you have one more last little bit of this rickety old hotel. Unbelievable. Yeah, dude. It was 81 today. It's supposed to be 85 tomorrow, I think is what they said. Oh, check this out. You'll like this, Tyler. Check this out. You ready for this?
Yeah.
I'm going to show you. And now I got to turn my camera back around. Some beach bunny. Check this out, dude.
Oh.
No, a little VW bus.
Dang.
With a bunch of surfboards. It's chock full of surfboards.
That's funny.
Apparently you can rent it out and oops, we got a little close on that one, sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
So yeah, dude.
That's gotta be like a 70s era.
Yeah, that's probably like an 80s.
70s, 80s, yeah. Just the shape of it, right? And just the shape of it.
Yeah, dude. I'll give you a better. Let's see if you can have a better view from here.
Oh yeah. It's cool. I think you should paint yours pink too.
A little different than mine. Nah.
All right, my man. Let's wrap it up. Appreciate you. Thank you to our listeners. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Again, a little something different, a little taste of jiu-jitsu camp. And we'll catch you in a couple weeks when we're back in the studio.
I'll send you a walk-in when I'm walking into the conference. You'll see that too, Tyler. I just don't. I miss you so much, and like I don't want you to be so jealous over there that you like you're there now for the next 4 days. Like, I kind of hate Danny for calling in like that.
No. I got nothing but love. I'm got nothing but gratitude that you're down there experiencing it, and I'll be back.
Yeah.
I'll be back. The timing will be, it's all going to change.
Sure.
So.
All right, dude. I appreciate you guys. Tell everybody who said hi. And,
all right.
Thanks to our listeners for sitting through this, and go to YouTube and check it out.
Yep.
Go check it out.
Check it out. Cheers.
Rise up, don't turn it back.